Hey, welcome to today's daily sprint. We're talking about increasing our purpose, passion, and meaning, and we're on a belief kick because we're reading Adam Grant's book that's opening up my brain to challenging my beliefs. And thus, I'm going to open up your brain to challenge your beliefs. So let's just say that we're going to use this. Let's just say that you have a spouse or a friend or a family and they're working too much, or you want to confront them on something. To make them better, you're going to confront them out of love. So there's two ways that you can do that. You can relationally confront them, or you can task. So he talks about relational conflict and task conflict. So relational conflict would be, okay, let's just stick with, I feel you're working too much. So if I were going to challenge you relationally, I'd be like, hey man, you're not seeing your kids enough, you're a better dad than that, or I believe that you're just not being a really good parent. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of attacking you as a person instead of using tasks. Or I might just provide too little fact. I might just say, I feel, I think, or you're not, without really any facts. So typically relational debates do not go very well. They end up in you calling me fat and me calling you a dumb butt and just not good, okay? But how can we address the same thing? Because it is a personal thing that we're talking about here. So how can we use task conflict? Task conflict is we would identify patterns. So I would say, hey man, I noticed that when you work a lot, your kids' grades don't do as well. Or I noticed that when you and your wife are kind of, there's a pattern when you and your wife are upset with each other, things aren't going well marriage-wise, that you tend to dive into work. It tends to be this pattern. You did it on this date, that date, and this date. That's the second thing, using facts. So here I'm trying to help you relationally as a friend, but one, I'm pointing out a pattern that is pretty much irrefutable. Because remember, this book is teaching us all to be scientists, not prosecutors, politicians, or things of that nature. And then the third is exposing blind spots. So now that I've brought these patterns out, and I've used some facts to back up these patterns, it's now hopefully helping you see some of those blind spots. Or another way to help someone see blind spots if they're open is to ask questions, to say, hey, what patterns do you think are causing you and your wife not to get along? What are some things that are going on that may be forming a pattern that are causing this conflict? Now, a lot of times if they already recognize the pattern, then they probably wouldn't continue to repeat it. So that might need to do some digging, and you might say, hey, I've recognized these patterns. But again, relationally, you don't want to attack necessarily the person, okay? You want to make them aware of the patterns and show them that you truly do love for them and that they will break out of those patterns. So it all starts with awareness. So hey, hopefully this made sense for you today. Let me know in the comments. You have a great growth-driven rest of your day.